As we hear in this report from Clint Watson, the government is taking advantage of the opportunity to add some green space to Bay Street.
The government is turning tragedy into opportunity as work is well on the way to develop the western portion of Bay Street into an amenity that cruise passengers in particular will benefit from. This after the world-famous Pompeii Museum and adjacent properties were severely damaged during a fire in December last year.
A green space that's going to be really a showcase at the start of Bay Street right there, and so this is going to be a wonderful development for Bay Street. It's going to transform Bay Street in some serious ways.
Youth, Sports and Culture Minister Charles Maynard noted that work crews are already in place to perform 3 separate projects.
One is our project from the Antiquities Corporation, where we're restoring the Pompeii Museum. We had the first phase of that development going on. There's a private sector restoration of the other building on the other side, and then of course there's a downtown partnership project where they're restoring the park and creating what we're going to call Pompeii Park. They wanted to start in October, and of course that was a bit delayed, and then we had the devastating fire in December, and so that threw them back again. But we're now on track with all 3 of these projects, and we expect that they may be done simultaneously, and so they will all complement each other.
Minister Maynard reinforced the importance of the capital city displaying green space downtown, especially as a revitalization takes place.
It's important, especially in this particular environment where we have so many cruise passengers who are on the ground at the same time. Some of them want to just sit and relax and enjoy climate. We plan to do cultural activities in the park and so forth, and have a little bit of vending, some things like daiquiris and things like that. And so it's going to be a little rest spot as they congregate and then go and complete shopping and so forth and the tours. And so it's just an added amenity really to their overall visit.
Now completion of this project has been pegged at around fall of this year. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Baumar is denying a Bahama Journal report that it has blocked access to beaches surrounding its West Bay Street properties. There is a perimeter fence restricting access to part of the beach, but according to resort officials, there's a totally logical reason for that. Baumar's Vice President of External Affairs, Robert Sands.
What we have done is that we have secured the site for the safety of Bahamians visitors during this particular period. And I repeat, no way denies future access of individuals to walk, run, swim along this beautiful beach. This is simply a temporary measure.
Mr. Sands gave this update on the beach renewal project that is central to the hotel development.
This program will allow us to do work in a 3-phase approach to restore the beach to its position in the late 1970s. The first step in this project will be the implementation or the installation of a surge wall that will go on the beach line on the property. This will be secured by a number of boulders. And then the second and third phase would be breakwater on the water side of the cable beach.
Debate continued last evening on the amended and restated heads of agreement with the I Group for the development of nearly 10,000 acres of land in Iguana. Now, the bill contributing to the bill was Progressive Liberal Party leader Perry Christie, who outlined why his government made the original deal with the I Group. Our Janaea Noel Ferguson reports.
Progressive Liberal Party leader Perry Christie defended his administration's decision to sign the original agreement that gave the I Group access to more than 9,000 acres of prime Bahamian property on the southern island of Iguana. But MP for Seabreeze Carl Bethel claimed that land was being sold at less than cheap prices.
This is the great land giveaway, in my opinion. And you could slice it and dice it and put it in some company all you want. At the end of the day, 1.4 cents per square foot is by any definition a giveaway of land.
He alleged that Bahamians were virtually shut out from simple privileges on the island, including beach access.
I, the citizen, Mr. Charlton, the Iguanan citizen, Mr. Crawley, even Mr. Mike Edwards, to go on this land would have to get the permission of some company to go on what prior to that moment was Crown land.
But PLP leader disagreed and claimed that over time the government would have benefited financially.
Precise meaning of the joint venture partnership was that they would spend the money until such time as income was being earned, and then the Bahamas government would earn 50% because they were joint venture partners. That's what it means. More than that. Okay? And that 50% does not include the percentages we were charging for the sale of each piece of property.
Right. I understand. Right.
Mr. Christie maintains that the idea was to ensure that Bahamians, especially residents of Iguana, had access to the development.
We satisfied ourselves not only that the people in Iguana were full participants, but that the outside residents, leading residents, were in agreement with it. So we made every effort to make that happen.
Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS News.
Member of Parliament for Golden Isles Charles Maynard also contributed to the bill and questioned why the former administration wanted to include the Hotel Corporation in the deal given its tainted history. He said that the F&M government has long moved away from that policy and the PLP, by way of the I Group agreement, was setting Bahamians back.
After 10 years of progress towards moving the Hotel Corporation on the side for good, the PLP trying to bring it back again with Iguana and bring it back into the fray and ownership, and I trying to figure out what y'all doing. Y'all trying to carry the country backwards. I just couldn't comprehend that, and so I thought that in this debate today they will be ashamed to even mention the words Hotel Corporation. It just don't make sense to me, because we're supposed to be moving away from that, man. The government of Bahamas ain't supposed to be in the business of owning hotels.
Now, just as Minister of State for Finance, the Honorable Shivargo Lang, was about to wrap up debate on the bill, Leader of Government Business in the House of Assembly, Tommy Turnquest, moved for the House to be suspended until Wednesday, March 28th at 3 p.m. Now, this sparked strong objection from members of the opposition who said they expected to have the matter completed last evening. The Speaker had to intervene, standing to his feet to restore order.
It has been moved and seconded that the business of this House suspends to honorable members.
And he stick to the
Honorable member.
Not of trust, eh? And transparency.
The intended closure of City Market food stores not sitting well with Labor Minister Dion Folks and Bahamas Chamber of Commerce President Winston Roll. Both men expressed their concern to the local dailies today. Minister Folks anticipates meeting with City Market's officials on Wednesday, while Mr. Roll believes unemployment needs to be increased and not reduced. Kalina Holdings Bahamas ended 2011 in a very strong financial position as the company reports a net income of $5.6 million and $550 million on its year-end balance sheet. From the international business beat, Spain's biggest bank in terms of assets has been created after CaixaBank bought Banca Civica for 977 million euros or $1.3 billion. The Spanish government amended laws to encourage mergers between banks. The new bank has acquired 14 million customers. And in regional business, the Port Authority of Jamaica is participating in Cruise Shipping Miami, the largest cruise convention in the world, for the 11th year. Over 10,000 cruise industry professionals attend the event, and it will allow Jamaica's Port Authority to market and promote the island's 4 cruise ports. Remember, you can send us an email or join us on www.znsbahamas.com or become our friend on ZNS's official Facebook page.